to make no-knead bread. Yes, have you ever been put off from making homemade bread from scratch? Thinking you've got all that kneading, proving, not sure what to do, and then you're going to be worried if you're going to be ending up with a house brick at the end of it. Well, this is the bread recipe for you. It's so super easy to make, and it's a great one if you've never made bread before and you're a little bit daunted by it. So this is great. As I said, this is for people who really want to make a homemade bread from scratch, want to basically learn some techniques and produce the most fabulous loaf at the end of it. This one is going with my soup tonight, but stay tuned to the end of the video because I give you some more tips and ideas on this wonderful no-knead bread recipe.
You're going to need a large baking tray with some baking parchment on it. I've actually got some silicone on here, which I like to use because it is reusable. If you want to know where to get it from, you can find it on my website. The ingredients you're going to need is 250 grams of wholemeal flour, which I have here. Then you'll see that I've got 250 grams of plain flour, along with 1 teaspoon of salt and 1 teaspoon of bicarbonate of soda. This is buttermilk. Now, if you don't have 400 ml of buttermilk, I have a tutorial on my website that shows you how to make your own with milk and lemon juice. Yes, it's that simple. Place the plain flour along with the wholemeal flour in the big bowl. Give it a good mix round so that they're both really well combined. Then add in the salt and the bicarbonate of soda. Again, you want to make sure that this is really properly mixed round. The last thing you want is pockets of like bicarbonate of soda or salt in your bread. Then you're going to add the buttermilk. Make sure you give it a real good mix round. Some people use their hands, but you know what? I think a wooden spoon is just perfect for this job, otherwise it does get rather sticky. Then tip the dough out onto a floured surface. The idea is not to knead this dough. In fact, all it really needs is a little pat and pulling almost together and sort of moving round. Gradually you'll find it will just work its way all together, and just make sure it's sort of flatter on the top and patted down. Then place onto the baking tray. Next step is we're going to take a knife and we're going to quarter it, but what you don't want to do is you don't want to cut it all the way through, so just halfway, if you can see there. So just cut one way and then the other way. Then dust with a little extra flour. It doesn't matter whether it's the plain or the wholemeal that you use. You're then going to let it rest for 30 minutes. Yes, lucky dough, eh? It gets a rest while you go clean your kitchen up. And then you need to preheat your oven to 200 degrees centigrade.
Don't forget to subscribe and like my channel, and that way you'll get alerted to when new videos of mine come up with some fabulous recipes. So a lot of people ask me, how do you know when this beautiful no-knead bread that you've handmade from scratch is actually properly cooked? Well, there is a really good tip. What you need to do is just take the base of the bread, tap it. Oh, can you hear that? That's nice and hollow. And that basically means that your bread is now cooked through, and you can literally transfer it to your wire rack. That just helps it cool down and keeps that crispness. It lasts for about a day. It is one of the best breads that you can have that's really fresh, but it doesn't have a lot of longevity. Obviously not got all the nasties that a lot of these other clacky, horrible breads that you get from supermarkets have. So it's a great one to have. I like it, obviously, I'm going to have mine with my soup tonight, but you can also have it with a platter. Don't know if you've ever seen this like in spring and summer, and then you have like hams and cheeses and all these wonderful olives and everything, which also reminds me, you can change this recipe a bit. Sometimes I've added cheese in. Sometimes I've added things in like sun-dried tomatoes, a few herbs, a few olives. But you know what? You just can't beat a good classic no knead bread or soda bread. I think it's fantastic, and don't be afraid. If you've made sort of bread before and it's turned out like a house brick, I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised with this one.